Sexual violence awareness, a proposal to decrease the negative impact sexual violence has on our academic community, on the Albuquerque campus at the University of New Mexico. Hi, my name is Oriana Olmsted. I'm a third-year student at the University of New Mexico hoping to raise awareness for sexual violence on campus. The National Sexual Violence Resource Center claims 1 in 4 undergraduates experience sexual assault or misconduct while in college, but data collected in personal reports from my peers unfortunately tells a different story. Regardless of age, economics, location, or education, 1 American is sexually assaulted about every minute. That's 1,440 acts of abuse every day. Considering the scale of this problem nationwide, we cannot ignore the negative impacts this type of violence has, and must realize how they can manifest in our local community. Since individuals that are exposed to sexual violence are more likely to struggle academically, and UNM has a lower than average graduation rate, a connection and cause for concern between the two can be made. For my student interview, I had the privilege of discussing the effects of sexual violence with a student heavily involved in the UNM community. She was abused by a fellow UNM undergraduate and felt the university's response invalidated her traumatic experience. With their bureaucratic system of reporting, no academic or extracurricular retributions, and no check-in after the reporting to ensure her safety or mental well-being. Since the no-contact order took 2 weeks to be put into effect, she had to skip classes and campus extracurriculars to avoid the perpetrator. The overall experience, combined with the university's general delineation of responsibility, had a large negative impact on her academics, social life, and overall mental health. On a larger scale, of the 50 students polled, 52%, more than half, said the abuser or incident was associated with the university in some way. This could be a student, an on-campus incident, or an off-campus UNM-affiliated event. Of these individuals, 90% experienced negative academic side effects, 78% struggled with mental and emotional distress, and 50% reported a decline in campus involvement. An evaluation of the data yields the conclusion sexual violence disproportionately affects UNM students when compared nationally, 1 in 4 compared to half. Thus, sexual violence negatively impacts the University of New Mexico. The proposed solution requires initiating interventive and preventative measures. The university can increase preventative measures by introducing student check-ins and by increasing the frequency or requirements around bystander intervention training. They can increase their intervention and involvement in these incidents by improving the organization of systems in place and increasing the resources available to all students. Although anyone can make a report to the Student Health and Counseling Center, or SHAC, 24/7, individuals have to talk to somebody or email them to start the official reporting process. And like the personal account states, the process itself is long, tedious, and impersonal. The pressure to seek help and reach out can be overwhelming for victims already suffering from mental distress, and some individuals might not realize what they are experiencing is sexual violence, any sexual act obtained by violence or coercion. A weekly or monthly well-being questionnaire in email or text form from SHAC or UNM can relieve the stress of reporting and increase accessibility of reporting, allowing students to share safety improvement suggestions or provide confirmation if a student is feeling they are a victim of sexual violence. Optional weekly check-ins can provide increased support to students and improve how victims perceive the UNM community. It will also show the university consistently cares about the well-being of their students, not only at orientations where presentations like the gray area training are required. Speaking of gray area trainings, the university can repurpose these as they've already purchased them by making gray area trainings more frequent or making them a registration hold if not completed throughout the student's academic career, not just at new student orientation. Another suggestion is to make a sexual violence awareness class a prerequisite to graduate, similar to the global diversity requirement. To improve the experience of those willing to report, UNM should also improve the systems of support that are currently in place, such as a UNM version of a no-contact order that goes into place immediately after reporting. If the claims are unbased, the no-contact order will be erased from record. If they are, this will protect the student immediately and can prevent the negative impacts on academics like skipping class. UNM should also communicate with victims' professors, if they consent, to let them know why their performance might be affected. Another budget-friendly suggestion is to utilize and update the campus safety app we already have, Global Guardian. This application allows users to report crimes to UNMPD as they happen, and it should extend to incidents of sexual violence. An update to this app can also provide SHAC a line of communication with victims to check in on their well-being and support them through the reporting process. I propose two routes of action for the university based on budget. Implementing the suggested preventative measures can be done for less than $100,000, while the interventive measures will be more expensive considering the Global Guardian software development. And both plans do require increased staff and marketing budgets. While the preventative plan is more cost-effective, both proposals utilize existing programs and will increase campus safety if implemented. They can also increase the support students feel on campus, as well as decrease the academic effects of abuse. According to the statements of revenues, expenses, and changes from the UNM Regents report on the financial and budget information page, the university was allotted $26,330,985 in 2014. A more recent report was not accessible to the public, but one can only assume the present budget is much larger due to general inflation. Regardless, a portion of these funds are appropriated towards campus resource centers and support programs, such as the substance abuse programs. Although specific student health and counseling budgets are not disclosed, the website provides information that proves there are funds delegated to deal with these situations. The comparison of the public service budget and the proposal budgets are evident. The suggestions I provide will cost only a fraction of this budget. Since UNM pays their student office assistants $11.50 an hour, hiring one or multiple people for these positions would result in anywhere from $23,920 to $71,760 a year, depending on the scope of the proposal the university decides to take on. I also included a marketing budget in this subsection since the primary work the new positions will deal with is spreading awareness of campus resources, reaching out to students, and improving overall campus security by providing more consistent support through check-ins or Global Guardian. The marketing budget for increasing awareness and knowledge of resources through virtual and physical posts, campus outreach events, and digital promotions is anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 per year. In conclusion, sexual violence is negatively affecting students at UNM, and ignoring these impacts prevents UNM from delivering on its mission statement, providing services that enhance New Mexicans' quality of life and promote academic development. The continuation of sexual violence not only decreases quality of life, but also academic development, according to both the local and national data collected. I hope the University of New Mexico can apply one or both of these proposals in this presentation in an effort to support the local community, maintain the values in its mission statement, and overall decrease the negative effects sexual violence has on our campus.